What's up, babes? It's Lisa Victoria back with another video, your real estate broker. I wanted to really make this video real estate broker entrepreneur, that girl who's going to do what it takes to make things happen. I wanted to make this video today specifically as it pertains to like business and where I'm at with my brokerage, etc., etc. So you all know, just to kind of rewind a little bit, I got my real estate license some years ago prior to the pandemic. Before that, like a few years before that too. And I always had my aspirations when I got into real estate to have my brokerage firms. If you know me, you've talked to me about this. If you know me, you know that I have a master's in business. I have a master's in law. I have degrees in criminal justice, sociology. And I also have like licensures as a notary, licensure as a broker, etc. And I'm not saying this to be boastful. I'm just bringing these topics up so you guys can know exactly what it is that I'm trying to get to, the points that I'm striving to get to, so that it doesn't seem so vague. But as I was doing those things, I remember saying, you know, I'm going to become a lawyer and I'm going to have my own law firm, et cetera, et cetera. And I got to a place where I realized that that just wasn't the calling that I felt like was on my life at that time. I'm not saying if I had, you know, my Esquire credentials and things like that to practice law, that I wouldn't be fire at it. Because my family would always be like, because yeah, if you go through that law, we already know you're going to handle business, because we already know, you know, the type of way that you're able to literally like take subject matters and be able to like execute them with facts. So they already knew like your girl was going to be good. But when I realized that I was not going to pursue the track of law, it was so many different complexities and so many different reasons as to why I didn't continue to pursue law. Knew that I wanted a JD MBA at one point, but I decided to do the master's in law and the MBA instead of doing the JD, which is Juris Doctor, MBA. So with the master's in law, it allows you to do things within the law field, but you are not allowed to do certain things that lawyers do and practice in a way of someone who is Esquire, someone who has gone to law school, finished, and has that attachment to their name. But nevertheless, it's like I already knew that I wanted to pursue the master's of law when it became a thing, because I felt like there was interest in that for me. My initial degree field in like my, what do you call it? I'm having a blooper right now. But my initial concentration in my master's in law was innovation. Innovation was my concentration. I took a lot of innovation courses. Rest in peace to my innovation instructor, like the guy who ran the innovation department, because he passed away at some point, which was tough news to hear. But by the time it came for me graduating, it was like you keep the concentration of innovation and have to stay in school longer when you're already ready to graduate at this moment, or you change your concentration and you just be finished with the timeline instead of dragging it out just to say that you have the innovation concentration. Obviously that's what I wanted, but I went ahead and did general management, basically I did general law, like a general category of law, you know. So that covers like comprehensive, like a lot of things, like a montage of topics, if you will. But that was my topic, innovation. And you guys know that I've always had that mindset of like creating my own, being my own, doing my own thing. Just that girl who always stands out, do what she wants, and is unapologetic for wanting to take the strides in the path that she wants. So long story short, I went down the real estate journey after submitting fingerprints to do insurance. I was going to do auto insurance at one point. I wanted to do, and this is post-college, because everything that I ended up getting in, I did have my degree field jobs. But once I got bored, or once I started to learn too much of the information, there was nothing else to learn. That entrepreneurial part of me would kick in, even though that studious law side of me was there. And I just felt myself in a cycle of boredom, and I was just getting over it. So a lot of the jobs and career fields that I wanted to go down were those that had more of that entrepreneurial niche. I was thinking about doing auto insurance, and I'm not saying that this was going to change the whole trajectory of everything I was doing, but one thing I was going to do auto insurance, like policies and stuff like that. I did work for a company before doing like loans, so having to do contracts and stuff like that for people. So did that before, and then I was also going to do like stocks and bonds. I wanted to do that, but there were certain requirements. I ended up passing my life insurance course, but I didn't want to pursue life insurance. It's just the place that I was working at. If you was to take the life insurance class, pass it successfully, then they would pay for you if you were someone who was interested in becoming like a stocks and bonds like investor type of like, you know, broker, if you will. And I was interested in that, doing stocks and bonds and things like that. So I wanted to take those courses. And this is post-college. This is just educational, etc. So I know it sounds like it's all over the place, but if you had to boil me down to like a few topics, it's really fashion, entrepreneurship, business law. That's basically it, even though I have so many ideas and so many things everywhere. And some people say, oh, just focus on one thing or whatever. But I've always been the woman who believed that being multifaceted is a thing, and you could be multifaceted as long as you're willing to put in the work. Don't let someone tell you that you can only do one thing when you're great at 5. If you can make those 5 things make you money, why would you want to make money off of one thing? I'm just asking. Just asking. They said there's no dumb question. There's no question that's a dumb question. I'm just asking, if you can make money off of 5 things instead of one, would you make money off the one thing or the 5? Rhetorical question. Ask yourself if you want to say it out loud. Go ahead. We can't hear you on the camera anyway. But long story short, I say all that to say I have experienced a lot when it comes down to my professional life. I am now 31 years old. I turned 31 back in February, so my birthday is coming up this upcoming year. Your girl is going to be 32, okay? So time is flying, because I remember when I was just 15, 16, 20, 21. I don't regret it, because the experience and the life and being able to live to make it this far is a blessing. It is not a curse. So I'm just saying that time has flown relatively quickly. I did get my broker's license when I was in my 20s. So thankfully I was able to still, you know, just be a girl who had her head on straight for as long as I can remember. And it's still on straight. I might have some days I cry, but you know, I lift my head and I keep going. 24 hours to feel the way I feel and get back on it, because that's what I need to do. So long story short, I have literally just been in a space in my life where there's a lot of like changes and transitions and things like that happening. And I'm striving to simultaneously embrace the changes, but also boss up at the same time. So I made a lot of crucial decisions that I felt like were essential for my growth as a business owner. Not my personal preferences, not my personal growths. For example, moving out of a beautiful home that I lived in, literally set up beautiful the way I love it, all glass, literally living in a glass house. Beautiful, whatever, right? I gave all that up. I downsized my business office. I made so many decisions that a person who is obsessed with material things or obsessed with the life they're living but not really wanting to take the risk for the reward would not have given up. I gave it up to go completely opposite of what I'm used to. Like, and when I say what I'm used to, you guys know that my style is always like, I have very tasteful style. Like, I'm going to want elegant things. I'm that girl who just really like a nice whatever. And I'm not saying that to be cocky. It's just I've always been like that. Even in college, like when we got off of curfew in college, I went to go get jobs so that I can actually go purchase me a place to actually, or have my own lease. You know, I didn't want to be living on the campus, and I was already wearing my big girl panties then. Had my little 2-story townhouse. Like, that was my first place I ever lived in, was a 2-story townhouse. Your girl was on her ish. So, long story short, I've always had a taste for nice things, and I don't mind working to get them. I don't mind doing what I need to do to have what I want, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But when I tell you I went from the nicest of the nicest to the complete opposite end of the spectrum as far as what I would choose to live and where I would choose to live for the sake of growing my business. And I say all that to say, you have to believe in what it is that you are wanting to believe in. You have to take the risk. Nobody's going to make you take the risk. I said, look, this is a very small window that I have to make this decision, make this transition, make this everything, but I'm going to do it because I know where I want to be. I know that God has greater things for me, and I'm going to move as though I already have it. I'm going to move with intent, and I'm going to move as though it is already mine. So these places that I've already been, you know, and when I say places, these places, I'm not referring to a physical space. I'm speaking of more of a mental, metaphorical, however you want to look at space. When I say that I want to grow as an individual and grow in business, I meant that. So I made the decisions to do that by downsizing my home to a place that is 1/4 of what I currently was paying, or 1/3 of what I was currently paying. My office space being nearly 60% cheaper, almost 70% cheaper than what I already had as a payment, right? So I made decisions that I knew were going to benefit the growth of my business rather than what were going to stroke my sense of like my zen, my little like. I made the decision for where I'm going, not for where I am. So I don't want to talk in circles when I say that. So I think that's the best way to say it. I made the decision for where I'm going, not where I am. Even where I'm at now, I'm thinking about potentially purchasing this as an investment property if things work out. You know what I mean? Talked about it. It's been in negotiation. So my mind is already, before I got here, already had the mentality of when I move here. You know what I mean? When I move here, I am potentially planning to make this an investment property. So I already had the business mindset in it. I move there, stay there for a little bit, then I might buy it, get out, rent it. You know what I mean? Or Airbnb it, whatever I decide to do. But long story short, I wanted to make this video today because I felt like we needed a business sketch up on like where I've been with business. I've had some hiccups that I haven't really shared on media, which I don't really care to share for some details. But just let's say I went through some rough patches when it comes down to my brand, my brokerage. I kind of just won't say that I ever forgot about the brokerage because I haven't. I just literally have been going through hiccups behind the scenes, but I'm simultaneously building back up while I'm also experiencing brick wall after brick wall after brick wall with things. But as you know, as a person who wants success, you don't stop when you get the no. You keep going until you get the yes. I can get told nine no's, but I know on the 10th question, I'm going to get a yes. So it's that thing of like having tenacity and continue to keep going. Not everybody's going to build their business off the strength of like dating someone who is maybe of status, or building their business off of someone who they met and now your business is booming and this person is just in your life with the business that's booming already. So long story short, I knew that I wanted to strategically build my business the way that I wanted to build my business, and that's what I was going to do. So if it took me a little bit longer, or I had to go through the ropes to get to where I had to go through, then that's what I was going to do. But I wasn't going to cheat the way that I got there. It's just going to take me a little bit longer. So I'm at a space right now where I am rebuilding, rebranding. Like I said, imagine books on a bookshelf going stack, 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 and then something hits them, or they just are not placed right and they all just fall down. That's what I feel like I'm experiencing. So I'm picking those books up book by book and just continuing to build my brand brick by brick. So that's what I've been doing. So I think what really prompted me to make this video is one of my agents called me today and she stated basically like, hey, or called me yesterday telling me that she spoke so highly of me to recommend me to another person who's thinking about wanting to hang their license with a brokerage, and she'd like to talk to me to see if I was a good fit for her. Mind you, I'm not going to divulge information about this particular woman, but just to say the least, she's amazing. It was very, very refreshing to speak to her, and I don't know, it was just a very, very, very good conversation. So long story short, I'm not going to divulge what else she does in her life or whatever, but she has other endeavors going on in her life that are positive. But just to think that someone would speak highly of me, to refer someone to my brand, and then the other person to get the chance to speak to me and feel highly of me as I feel of them, is just amazing. So I believe that God will make the people who need to gravitate to me. You know what I mean? I don't have to force that. So right now, I know I tell you guys a lot about how I'm building and the things that I'm doing to like grow my brand and grow my business. Right now, I'm at a place where I am putting together things within my brand that is going to serve those who are going to join my brand. At one point, I was one band, one sound. Now I'm slowly starting to expand my operation to where I'm welcoming people to join. But I haven't opened my arms to say, come on in, everybody. I haven't done that because you guys know I'm very strategic. So every situation is conversation, case by case. Everyone is not a good fit for me. So just because somebody walks up to me and tell me they want to join, I will quickly tell you, once I've had a few conversations, see how you move, see what you do, that maybe we're not a good fit for each other. And I've just been, good fits have been coming my way. One of our girls, she's still within the company, but she's literally had to move to a whole nother state, but she's still a part of our brand. A go-getter, on her ish. Love that for her, love that for me, love that for us. So I'm just proud to be surrounded by people who share the same vision of wanting success, and people who are gravitating to me for the things that they feel like I could edify, and the brand in itself can edify them. So that's what I've been working on, just putting that structure together to operate as that team of more than just myself. Because I take the times when I used to work in jobs and careers, well, jobs, and I just felt like nobody really like if people treated me wrong, or the curriculum wasn't apparent, or didn't know what I was supposed to be doing on that job or whatever, those things became frustrating, right? Or it was like frustrating that people were just, not organized. So I feel like as I'm building my brand, I'm taking all of the negative experiences, the positive ones too, and I'm making sure that I'm building my brand with that type of reputation. So if I know that I was always getting my toes stepped on because I was good at what I was doing, but maybe the competition was that male and female type of competition, and maybe, being a female in male-dominated industries, if you've been in that situation or you are in that situation, oftentimes your toes can get stepped on because they think that a woman is less capable of a man because she's a woman, and that's not always true. The numbers, people lie, numbers don't, right? And the numbers were not lying, and my business, like the car sales business I used to be in, and things like that. And I just felt like all of those experiences that I felt when I was mistreated and not done right, I took those moments and said I wanted to make sure that when I do my brokerage, I create my brand. I want to make sure that people don't feel those things that I felt. And if they do and I don't recognize it, please understand that an open door policy is not open door policy with subtle hints hidden behind it, certain jabs. Open door policy is just that, open door. Just like a door is open, that open to be able to come talk about whatever needs to be talked about. Family oriented, family knitted, to where we could talk about anything, whether it's real estate related or not. That's the type of brand. And it's like, I don't want to micromanage people. I don't want to tell people what to do. I want self-starters, strong people who are going to be around me, who are going to tell me what they're doing, not me keep checking in with what they're doing. Now, obviously, being the person who's running this show, you do have to be open ear. You have to be open-minded. You have to, voice opinion when needed, help when needed. But for the most part, I want adults to be adults, run the show of their own lives, run their businesses, and be a part of the brand. So I'm not going to, sit here and try to micromanage. But I do believe that great things are coming. Great things are in store. I'm excited. Wanted to jump on here and just talk to you guys about that. Give you an update. Let you know your girl is coming back stronger, harder, more persistent. I've fallen so much, and I refuse to share all of where I have fallen onto the camera right now. But just know that we all fall down. You fall down 7 times, get up 8. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not capable because the first time it didn't work, second time it didn't work. You just don't quit on you. And I promise you're going to get the results that you are looking for. I will keep you guys updated. I do need to make another hair video. I might look a mess in this video, but babies, the goal was to get the video made. Put the content out there. Now, I have been a little dehydrated, so if my lips and my tongue and everything look a little chapped and white, maybe I'm dehydrated and I'm talking a lot. And if I look a mess, if there's slobber around my lips, or oh, girl, my mascara's whatever, just I hope you got the message, okay? So make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. I will see you beautiful babes in the next video.